Lazy Cooking with Sabrina. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Thank you for all y'all who keep coming back to this channel, and also welcome all you new ones who are here. I hope you guys like this channel. You go ahead and subscribe. Definitely don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and definitely share it with some future cooks out there. But as you can see in the title and the thumbnail and all that good stuff, that I am going to be talking to you guys about how I pre-cook my meat. I've been doing this for years now. I've talked about it on my other channel, Simply Being Sabrina, and since I have this new cooking channel, I definitely wanted to bring this video here because this is a huge time saver, especially for a lot of you guys who are busy like me, and you need to cut time on cooking. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I cook my chicken tacos, my chicken taco meat. I'm going to show you how I cook my regular just ground beef and baking some chicken, and I'm going to be cooking some chicken spaghetti and some beef spaghetti. I want to say that is it of what I'm going to be cooking. But yeah, and then and I'm just going to show you how I cook it, what I do with it, how I put it in the freezer and all that stuff. One thing I can say is this, once I cook it, it usually lasts in the freezer for about 3 to 4 months, give or take. It never lasts that long because I end up eating it up before then, but the longest I've ever had it in there was about 3 or 4 months, and it was just fine. And you can cook a variety of different recipes, and throughout, especially if you're subscribed to this channel, a lot of my videos, especially future videos, are all going to refer back to this video. Alright, sorry y'all, as I was editing this video, I realized I left a little bit of information out. One, I wanted to tell you guys, it took me about 2.5 hours, more like 2 hours, to cook everything. I do this about once a month, and maybe sometimes once every 2 months, depending on how much meat we eat in that month. You do not have to cook it all in one day like I did. Sometimes you can just cook a little bit more as you go, but I prefer to cook it all in one day. And I also want to let you know that it does save time. I can cook my meals literally in less than 10 minutes some days, sometimes 5 minutes. The reason why I like to pre-cook my meat is because I like to change my mind quite often throughout the month. So cooking for the cooking casseroles and stuff like that for the whole entire month, well, honestly, it will end up staying in the freezer because I switched it up. So this way, having my meat already pre-cooked, I'm able to cook a variety of different dishes in a short amount of time. But enough of this talking, let's get into this video. Alright, this is everything I'm going to be cooking. I have like about 3 packages of chicken, beef, and sausage and bell peppers, and I've spent about $70. I am now slicing and chopping up all my bell peppers and onions. This is what it looks like when I'm done, and this makes it go by really fast when I have everything already sliced and chopped and ready to go. Alright y'all, now I'm going to start with cooking my chicken taco meat. So yummy. I make so many recipes with this meat. I can make enchilada soups, enchiladas. I mean, so much stuff with this. This is just yummy. Anyway, first you're going to start with a little bit of olive oil at the bottom, as you saw that I already did. And I'm going to be placing my sliced onions and bell peppers in here. I'm saying that I cooked about, I think I'm going to put about 6 whole bell peppers in there. And just to let y'all know, I don't like green bell peppers, so that's why I use the bright ones. But if you like the green ones, do what works for you, boo, okay? So I'm going to be putting a little bit of black pepper and some salt. Alright, just to let you know, when it comes to seasoning, I season my food to taste, and a lot. I don't really give out too many measurements. I try to give you approximately how much I use, so go for what you know. Always start off small because it's better to have like less salt than too much salt, you know, especially if you're new to cooking. But for me, I've been cooking for a while now, and I pretty much know, and I've made this 100 times, know how much I need and what I like. I'm now going to put my chicken breast on top of the peppers, and I put about 4 large pieces on top. You can do less, you can do more, whatever works for you, but 4 was enough for us. I'm now going to use some taco seasoning, and like I said before, I don't really measure, but I'm going to say I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons of taco seasoning on there, okay? And I also put some garlic powder, because you know I do not like any bland food. Now I'm telling y'all now, I like my spices and I use my spices. And then I'm also going to put probably about another tablespoon of cumin, and I put about another tablespoon or so of chili powder as well on top. And of course, you know, I'm going to have to put a little bit more black pepper on top as well. Alright, this is optional, but I also sprinkled a little bit more salt. And last but not least, I put a large jar of salsa on top. And it can be any salsa that you like, but I always like, always go to Costco's and buy like the really big brand of whatever salsa they have on sale, and I just slap it on top. Then I cook this in my pressure cooker for about 10 minutes. If your meat is frozen, I suggest you adjust it to about 15 or a little bit longer, it's just depending. And then once it's all done, this is what it looks like. It's super delicious. Oh my God, it's so yummy. And when I shred my chicken breast, I actually use 2 tongs. I don't know who taught me how to do this, but this is the best tip when it comes to shredding anything, beef, chicken. Take 2 tongs and just start snapping it away. It's way easier than a fork or anything, and it just cuts the time. Once it is nice and cooled off, like probably approximately room temperature, you don't want the steam basically, because this is going to go in my freezer. And I separate it into 4 bags. Make sure you label it, because I have done dumb stuff before and I didn't label it, and yeah, long story short, yeah, don't do that. So make sure you know it's cooled off. It's still a little hot, but I'm going to place it in the bag and let it sit to the side and let it cool off some more. And then once it's like completely like almost room temperature, then I put it in the not quite room temperature, a little bit more than room temperature, but you know what I'm saying, cooled off. Then I put it in the freezer, and it'll last in the freezer for up to, I'm gonna say, about 3 months. And like I said, there's a lot of recipes that you can make with this. I've made enchilada soup, enchiladas. You can make it to tacos, fajitas, you name it. Anything that involves some type of taco meat, then you can put that and use it. Especially make sure you're subscribed, because I am going to be making a lot of recipes with this meat. So if you want some ideas on what to cook with your chicken taco meat, you definitely want to make sure you are subscribed, y'all. Alright, here's another yummy recipe. I'm going to be cooking my chicken spaghetti. Actually, chicken and sausage spaghetti to be technical, but whatever. Alright, we're going to start with a little bit of olive oil at the bottom, as you already saw. And I cubed up my chicken breast, and I think I want to say I had about 2 or 3 chicken breasts here. I'm going to say about 3. Then I'm going to be seasoning it with my favorite seasoning, and this is the Lawry's chicken seasoning. I will have a link to it in the description box where you can pick it up from Amazon. This is my absolute favorite chicken seasoning. But McCormick, there's a whole bunch of people that make really good chicken seasonings, but that one just is my favorite. But use whatever you like, alright? And then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of black pepper, because I tell y'all, I like my food seasoned. I do not eat no bland food. That's just how my life's set up. If you do, you boo. Whatever works for you. So, and I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit of Lawry's. Not too much, because a little bit of Lawry's go a long way. And yeah. And then I'm just going to brown this chicken up. Get it all nice and yummy and delicious. And then I'm going to cut up and some of my favorite chicken sausage, and you can use any sausage. I've used turkey kielbasa sausage, and it came out really good. So whatever type of kielbasa style sausage that you like, it can be beef sausage, whatever works, you can definitely put that in there. But I'm actually going to be using, I think it's called Opals, I think I want to say, and it's the chicken thigh and poblano sausage. Is really yummy, y'all. It's like my favorite sausage. But anyway, so I'm going to put that in there, and of course I'm also going to be now putting my my already diced onions, a little bit of that. So I put like a handful of onions, and as you can see, those are the sausage I'm putting in there that I talked about earlier. I think I talked enough about sausage, but anyway. And I'm also going to be putting some bell peppers in there. Y'all, I'm telling you, this spaghetti sauce is so yummy. Super delicious. And for me, I like my spaghetti sauce, just to let y'all know, I like my spaghetti sauce to be kind of like a chili. I like it to be really thick and chunky. So if you like chunky thick sauces, then you're definitely going to like this spaghetti sauce. Alright, I'm going to now add a can of tomato sauce, a can of diced tomatoes, and also a can of tomato paste. And last but not least, I'm also going to put a jar of spaghetti sauce. It can be any spaghetti sauce in there. It doesn't really matter, whatever your favorite is. I always add extra spices and stuff to my spaghetti sauce, but it's always good to have a spaghetti sauce in there so you don't have to use as much spices, if that makes sense. So I'm going to stir this up a little bit and then add my spices. I'm going to now put about 2 tablespoons. Probably you can start off with 1 tablespoon. If that's not enough, add a little bit more of Italian seasoning. I'm now adding some basil in there, and I'll say about a teaspoon. And a teaspoon of oregano. Alright, this is totally optional. You do not have to do this, but I do have a garden outside with rosemary and basil. So at the end, I decided to add a little bit of rosemary and some fresh rosemary and fresh basil. Alright, I let this spaghetti sauce chill for a little while, and now I am going to separate it into 2 bags. Like I did previously before with my chicken tacos. Of course, I labeled it, and and after I fill up the bags, I just place them in the freezer. And like everything else that I'm going to be cooking in this video, it can last for up to about 3 months in there, even longer if you double bag it. So it can last for quite a while. And one thing I love about having the spaghetti sauce on hand, it makes cooking so much easier, especially when I come home from work. I don't even have to worry about it. I just take it out of the freezer either the night before or the day of, and dinner's already ready. And also there are some other recipes that I actually make with this spaghetti sauce. You can easily make it into lasagna, you can make it into soups and all kind of other really yummy, delicious meals. Now it's time for my baked chicken. This is a super easy thing to cook. I love baked chicken. My kids, it's just easy. And I always like to pre-cook it. First I'm going to start, I did have the olive oil at the bottom of the pan. And right now I'm sprinkling on top my favorite chicken seasoning that I've mentioned several times before. I think I've said it a million times so far in this video. It's the Lawry's chicken seasoning. It's delicious, and I hope that you guys actually end up trying it. And so I sprinkle that on there, and then I am going to put a little bit of Lawry's, but you don't need a lot since the other seasoning has salt in it. So you don't really need a lot of it, just a little dash of it. And then I'm also going to sprinkle some black pepper on it, drizzle a little bit of olive oil. Then I stick that sucker in the oven till it's nice and golden brown and looking all yummy and scrumptious. Also, make sure you season both sides, not just one side, y'all. Alright, I'm going to plop these bad boys into the oven for about, we'll say about 25 minutes. About 20-25 minutes. Definitely keep checking. It may take a little bit longer depending on your oven. And I already had my oven preheated to about 350. This is what they're looking at like after they have been cooled off and out of the oven. Now I'm going to bag them up. And I do put a little bit of that oil and juice in there, or the little bit of that oil in there, because it keeps the chicken breasts from being dry when it's time to reheat them. When it comes to reheating them, make sure you guys take it out the day before. I have cooked them straight out frozen and they still were delicious and yummy, but I like preferably if I have them out the day before, where they're already pretty much are unthawed. And you can put these in the oven for maybe about 5 minutes and they warm up, or you can put them in the microwave for about a minute, 2 minutes, and it warms up. I also make other really yummy recipes with these too. You can make a little gravy and pour it on top. You can easily make it like a cream of mushroom gravy on top. That tastes really delicious with these baked chickens. Or you can put some barbecue sauce on top and make it into like a barbecue baked chicken. There's so many things you can do once they're cooked. Or you can just eat it the way it is, which I usually do it that way. And my kids love it. It's super delicious. But if you still want that chicken to have that little kind of golden, little crispy, crunchy thing that chicken have, I make sure you put it in the oven to reheat it. Alright, now I'm going to start with my beef taco meat. As you see, I have my meat on the pan. I'm going to be putting about 2 handfuls of chopped bell peppers and about a handful of some chopped onion. Alright, I'm now putting in about 2 to 3 tablespoons of taco seasoning. One teaspoon of garlic powder. About 1 tablespoon of cumin. I do put more later on in the video. And probably about another tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of chili powder. And about 1 to 2 teaspoons of black pepper. Alright, this is optional and I did add a little bit more salt. Alright, now I just, cook it, mix it all up. And as I'm cooking it, I just can tell by the color of it if I need to add a little bit more taco seasoning and kind of how the flavors, how I like it. But for the most part, this is pretty much what I do. Now that it's pretty much done, I did add a dash of, not really a dash, I add like about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of beef bouillon. I really like to put beef bouillon in any beef dish that I make because it really brings out that beefy flavor. This is optional. If if you're not into that, that's fine, but I prefer to put beef bouillon in everything I cook, especially when it comes to beef. Alright, just like in the previous things that I've bagged, it's the same thing I do. Once it's cooled off, I then separate them in bags, and this here made a total about 4 bags, which like I said, I can make beef enchiladas. There's endless dishes, that burritos, you name it, I can pretty much or just make it some tacos, quesadillas. Literally the list is endless of all the meals I can make. But yeah, so I just separate it, and then I make sure that it's completely cooled off, and then just plop that sucker right on into my freezer. Alright, now I'm going to be cooking just some regular schmegular ground beef. And this here ground beef you can make a cheesesteak casserole. I make my cheesy mac, chili, stuff like that. So I just start off with a whole bunch of ground beef, and I think it's about 3 pounds, I want to say. And I also, as you can see, I have some diced up onions. And I'm also going to put about 3 tablespoons of beef bouillon, about a tablespoon of Lori seasoning salt, and maybe a little bit more, just season to your taste, a little over a teaspoon of garlic powder. And of course, I put in some black pepper. Alright, then I just cook it until it's nice and brown. Once the meat is cooled, just like I did in many times before in this video, I don't think I need to repeat myself for the 100th time, but I probably already have. I'm just going to separate the meat. As you can see, this did make 4 different baggies. I did want to put a little side note in there that each bag is pretty much represents a meal or something that I'm cooking, and mostly whatever meal that I make usually lasts us about 2 days. I usually like to have leftovers over, over anyway. So with all that being said, even though I'm separating in 4 bags, that's really like 8 meals for us. Alright, now I'm going to be cooking my beef spaghetti. And for the ingredients I put in my beef spaghettis is the same exact ingredients that I put in my chicken spaghetti. So I'm going to have my diced peppers and onions, as you can see. I'm going to be putting my sausage in there, and you know, all my sauces and some diced tomatoes. Alright, I'm starting with my Italian seasoning, and so I'm going to say I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of that in there. About 2 teaspoons of garlic. I'm going to use about a little bit over a teaspoon of Lori seasoning. And of course I'm going to add me some black pepper. Alright, once the ground beef is cooked, I'm going to now add my sausage in there. Alright, I'm going to add a can of diced tomatoes. I'm also going to add a can of tomato sauce. And I'm going to put a can of tomato paste and a jar of marinara sauce. I'm now going to add some more Italian seasoning, and I'm also going to add some more dried oregano and dried basil. And I'm just going to repeat the same exact step that I did with my chicken spaghetti and make sure that it's cooled off, and I separated it into 2 bags. And it, like I said, it made 2 bags, and I can make lasagna, you name it, soup, you name it, I can make with this, and it comes out super yummy. Okay, so today I cooked 4 bags of beef taco meat, 4 bags of ground beef, 4 bags of chicken taco meat, 2 bags of baked chicken, 2 bags of spaghetti chicken or chicken spaghetti, and 2 bags of beef spaghetti. And I like to include my leftovers in meals, so all together I could possibly easily make anywhere from 30 to 32 meals, which that pretty much means I have cooked all my meat for the month. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to write in the comments section. I'll do my best to answer them. I appreciate all of you guys who continue to come back, and appreciate all your love and support. Definitely share this video, and definitely follow me on my Instagram. I do have an Instagram. It's Lazy Cooking W Sabrina, and the link to that will be in the description box, so definitely check out that. I have like recipes and pictures and all kind of fun stuff on Instagram, so definitely check that out. And enough of this talking. I'll catch you guys in my next video, and as always guys, God bless.